Wanted to break down for you a blockbuster new Wall Street Journal report seeming to indicate one more way that the stock market may be rigged and may be gamed. Let's go ahead and throw this tear sheet up on the screen. The headline here says, big stock sales are supposed to be secret. The numbers indicate they are not. Share prices fall ahead of 58% of large sales, a Wall Street Journal analysis finds. And let me just read to you the beginning of this piece. They say, for years, something strange kept happening on Wall Street. Before a big shareholder could carry out plans to sell a slug of stock, the price dropped. It was as if other investors knew what was coming. These transactions, known as block trades, are supposed to be a secret between the selling shareholders and the investment banks they hire to execute the trades. But a Wall Street Journal analysis of nearly 400 such trades over 3 years indicates that information about the sales routinely leaks out ahead of time, a potentially illegal practice that costs those sellers millions of dollars and benefits banks and their hedge fund clients. So basically the allegation here is that when you have a large holder of these shares and they're about to get rid of them, they contract with investment banks to execute those trades, which are called block trades. Now, it's supposed to be a secret because obviously if you know that this big trade is coming, then you can front run it and get ahead of it, and you can sell off before they have an opportunity to and lock in a higher price. By doing that, you're of course driving the price down and making it so that their position is worse off by the time that these trades actually execute. And so what the Wall Street Journal found is sort of by an indirect analysis, they saw that routinely in 58% of the trades, the price would drop just before the trade hit. So the insinuation here, which is being investigated, by the way, by federal investigators, is that they are tipping off favored clients to get ahead of the curve. And by the way, oftentimes the people who are executing, who are involved in these block trades, a lot of times we're talking about pension funds. We're talking about, the retirement savings of teachers and firefighters, et cetera. But even if it's, a more nefarious as somebody that isn't so sympathetic, this is just straight up cheating.
Yeah, and so what they point to on this investigation is on Morgan Stanley, the big bank which dominates block trading. The firm disclosed in February it has been responding to information requests from the Department of Justice since the summer, and in November had to put one of its senior executives in charge of block trading on leave. So they refused to say why he was put on leave, but DOJ is investigating, and now the guy is no longer there. Goldman Sachs has already been probed, and the Journal's analysis found that when Morgan Stanley executed a block trade by itself, the median stock would trail its peers by 0.7 percentage points in the trading session leading up to the deal, meaning half performed worse than that. That was the worst record of any of the big banks that are major players in block trading. The median for Credit Suisse was 0.4, and the median for Goldman and Barclays roughly matched the market. But across all banks, it still lags by 0.2%. So if you put that all together, it's very clear that something is happening. And look, I'm just a guy from the outside who reads, but the very basics of a Wall Street movie or any of these other fictions, which are obviously based within some deeper truths, is when you have access to inside information, if you could trade on that inside information, it's worth a whole lot of money. One of the best books I've ever read is Den of Thieves by, I think it's James Stewart, about the 1980s, Michael Milken, inside trading and all that. And this stuff was truly crazy. They'd be like, oh, I heard so-and-so is about to do this. They had these guys called ARBs who would arbitrage on different trades and would trade on inside information. They were making millions of dollars. Guys who were in the investment banking side giving tip-offs to the sell side of what exactly was happening, research side and sell side. Truly, look, a lot has obviously changed since 1987, but I think that that's baked into the culture of Wall Street. And that's something that is obviously happening. It's obviously happening. The only question is how.
Yeah, you've seen this so many times. Right. We saw it during the financial crash when it was revealed, they were selling to their clients. They're like more retail clients, things that they knew that internally they were describing as total shit.
Yeah, which should be a crime.
Should absolutely be a crime. There were many should have been crimes that were committed during that era. You also saw it. This was, one of the revelations from GameStop, which we just talked to the filmmaker of, what's the name of the film? Gaming Wall Street.
Gaming Wall Street, yeah.
About how all of this went down where, retail investors are buying shares of GameStop. The price is going up and up and up. They're using the Robinhood trading platform thinking that this is just a neutral kind of a thing. And then, you know, when it comes to they're applying pressure to these bigger players on Wall Street, lo and behold, their ability to buy more stocks gets shut down. They're still able to sell, though, and it totally tanks the thing. I mean, it's just one more instance where you see the way through either the rules that exist, they're allowed to cheat and they're sort of allowed to rig the market. But this is just, even they'll go beyond that and just blatantly cheat. It also reminds me of the reporting that we've covered here from Unusual Whales and others about congressional insider trading, because it's very hard to prove that Pelosi or
on an individual basis,
anyone on an individual basis, like, had this information and it caused them directly to acquire or sell or whatever this particular stock. But when you look at the metrics overall and you see that these people are all beating the market, you go, okay, there's something going on here. And that's basically what this analysis reveals, is that if time and time again, before these block trades, in advance of these block trades, you see the stock price dropping, something is clearly going on here. And so we should continue to follow it, because it is heartening that federal investigators are actually looking into it for once.
Yeah, this is good news. Look, in the way it always works is some guy pays a fine, never actually goes to jail. But the market
and it's not even close to like what they made off of doing this.
Right, yeah. They'll pay a tiny little fine, which is 2.02% of like the millions of dollars that they reap. But justice is still justice. We should see it. It's just another little window into how the markets are rigged.
Indeed. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll have more for you later. Cable news is ripping us apart, dividing the country, making it impossible to function as a society, and making it impossible to know just what is true and what is false. But the good news is they are failing and they know it.
That is why we're building something new, a new mainstream, a healthier one, something more trustworthy, something that we are going to need in one of the most pivotal times in American history. We are building up here for the midterms, for the upcoming presidential election, but we need your help. So if you can help us out by becoming a premium member today at breakingpoints.com, we're trying to change America for the better and the entire world.
So what are you waiting for, guys? Go to breakingpoints.com and sign up and help us build a new mainstream.